Good morning, everyone. I see CBD here this morning saying good morning. And Buster's here early this morning. And Buster says hi to all. Good morning, Buster. This has been Andy Rabbit. Hello. And there's my cuz, S.O. Swanson. Hello, fellow Quailers. Well, I got a little frustrated yesterday. I could not get one of my cages apart to do the transformation I needed. So I had to order some socket wrenches. Good morning, Vicky. Vicky says good morning from rainy California. But what did come in the mail will help me with processing. I got a couple of knives from this place. And in it I got a case that goes on the belt. And this one's the bigger knife. Now you remember how it's got a lock on it. And it came with this little pocket knife. Now that should really help me with processing. So after I get these cages together, I have a bunch of kiwi to process. And CDB said, very cool. Ed got Bates here. Good morning, Ed. Ed says, good morning, all. I've only got 3 hours of sleep. So if I stop typing, I fell asleep. I'm very tired. Well, you got 1 more hour than I did. I got about 2 hours of sleep. Because I've got all the research done for book 4. And that's grilled, smoked, and jerky. So if you have any rabbits or any other animal that you grill, smoke, or process, send in the recipes to Self-Sufficient Kitchen. Because right now I've got a whole bunch of stuff for quail and eggs. Feather Connections, Homestead. Good morning. Good morning. Finishing up my run, so I'll text more in a minute. Good morning, Tickle Trunk. And Stephanie's here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, anybody have any questions or success stories to tell this morning? Kelly says one of my Utah people should be hot in here on the live in a minute. Say hi, Jessica. Hi, Jessica. Hopping or hoping, Kelly? Hop. Okay, hopping. Like a bunny rabbit. Nikki James, good morning, everyone. And she's got her coffee. Good morning, Nikki. Stephanie says, hi, Verna. Do you have new glasses? These are readers. It's to help me see the computer. I haven't been to the eye doctor yet. With my regular glasses, I can't see the computer unless I use the reader part, and who wants to go like this all day long? In case everybody's wondering, Stephanie is one of my neighbors. Andy, are you ready to see your baby? I'll wait for Andy to answer before I go after it. Hey, cuz Steve asks, has Stephanie eaten quail or cuy yet? Nope. She hasn't even tried a quail egg yet. She says they're too cute. Okay, Andy, I'll give you about 10 minutes, so we'll wait. I'll give you until 20 after. Jessica says, hi, I'm the Jessica she was talking about. Had to figure out my password to comment. Welcome, Jessica. Glad to have you. And Steve just says, Stephanie, Stephanie, Stephanie. And he says, oh, Stephanie. Laughs, cat's laughing, and she's laughing. Steve says, welcome, Jessica. CDB says, it's hard to eat cute things. Ed says, that's not good, Verna. You need sleep. Ed, I get sleep when I get tired. Every time I get tired, I take a nap. Nikki Jane says, oh, my Stephanie. Everybody's laughing at you, Stephanie, because you're afraid to try it. So you remember a couple months back, Stephanie said she was going to try some eggs. She ain't never did. And he says, pigs are cute. Steve says, guess we'll have to start her on quail deviled eggs. She's afraid of them, cuz. And he says, pigs are cute and bacon is delicious. You got that right, Andy. Stephanie's laughing. And so is CDB. C says, piglets are cute. They grow out of it. No, because coonies are cute, even when they're full size. Those little waddles wagging around while they're eating everything. Jessica says, Kai, as in big guinea pigs. I've heard they're delicious. Oh, Jessica, they are. C says, I wouldn't say cute. No, they're adorable, Steve. And he says, pigs may be my favorite animal ever. 70 says, I see guinea pigs as pets. Well, people have rabbits as pets. People have quail as pets. People have sheep as pets. People have a pet cow, a pet goat, but people eat them. Dawn says, good morning, everyone. Ed says, pigs are cute and tasty. CDB says, have always wanted a baby pig. Jessica Keenan says, Maybe too cute for me. I used to have a couple of my 2nd grade classroom. I'll have to get braver for that. You know, Jessica, about 35 years ago, I used to raise them for pets because 'cause I'd sell the babies back to the pet store, and I teased my kids back then that, "They eat them in South America. If we can't sell them, maybe we'll just eat them." And my kids had a conniption fit. Now they're all adults, and now I eat them. Steve says, "It helps if you eat it when you don't know what it is. Time for a surprise menu." And CDB laughs. Stephanie doesn't come up to my apartment very often anymore. She was always asked me if when I served something, "What did you cook it with?" She's afraid to eat anything with quail eggs in it. Jessica says, "I didn't think I'd be able to process quail, but it turns out I can. So who knows? I had a Brazilian girl in my class, and her dad made that joke at conference." Kelly says, "People eat cats and dogs in other countries." Yeah, but they also eat horses, but I'm not going to do those three. She says, "Stephanie is afraid you'll force feed her." I told her, I says, "I don't have any other kind of egg. So if they have egg in it, it is a quail egg." CDB said her dog is hiding. My oldest brother told me once that he was stationed in Okinawa when he was in the Marines and he ate dog. We're talking about eating dog, and Lucy says she wants a taste. It's okay, baby. Come on up. Come on up and say hi. Come on. Stevie choked me up. He says, "Don't be looking at your dog and licking your lips." I'm sorry. Lucy's one of those thin kind. There's not much meat on her. Yeah, so sometime today, I will be getting my ratchet wrench or socket wrench and some box wrenches. I am going to take that thing apart one way or another. If nothing else, I'll get my bolt cutters out and put new bolts in it. Hey, Stephanie, all those stray cats around here. You know how we can get rid of those extra cats? I don't know what that noise is either, Lucy. CDB says, "My parrot lays eggs. Have thought about trying one." Stephanie says, "Yuck." We're just picking on you, Stephanie. Nikki says, "Here, kitty, kitty." I'm going to be honest. If things got down nitty gritty and you can't buy food at the grocery store no more, you're going to eat some things that you never thought you would eat in your life. because the key is survival. And survival says to survive no matter what it takes. Stephanie says, "They're too cute and cuddly." C says, "Yeah, a CDC says you can eat it if you cook them thoroughly." And CDB agrees with me. Vicky says, "I made bone broth with beef bones, quail legs, and chicken feet. I poured into a jar and put it in the fridge. What can I do with the inch of fat on top of the broth?" Well, Vicky, you can take that fat after it firms up, scoop it off the broth, and you can use that in your cooking. Let's say, like when you're baking cookies or if you're frying something, you can use that fat in other ways. Waste not, want not. So use the fat to replace oil. Exactly. And Vicky says, "Thank you." CDB says, we may all be eating insects one day. I would have to drink a lot of alcohol to do it, though. Hey, CDB, I'll tell you one thing. When it comes to things that you're afraid to eat, my suggestion is well done or jerk it. Either make it into jerky or fry it crisp. Andy says, "If a rabbit will eat another rabbit to survive, you know every living thing will eat the unthinkable to live." Exactly, Andy. Hey, Grafted Branch Homestead says, "Good morning, Verna and y'all. I can only say hi for a couple minutes this morning, but good to see y'all." Good morning, Matt. Glad you can make it even for a couple minutes. And he says, "Thumbs up, you all." And CDB says, "Bug jerky." No, I would fry it crisp and put it into some kind of soup or even bread. S.O. Swan says, "I don't think I could get that drunk. But then again, I've never been that hungry before." CDB says, "Yeah, super fried might be okay." Jessica says, "Told my husband I wanted to breed mealworms for the quail. He said I should breed enough for us." Yeah, tell him first. Steve says, "Good morning, Matt." And Matt's getting a kick out of it. And CDB says, "Hey, Matt." And Matt's waving. And Andy says, "I'm back home, Verna." Well, you got until I finish this smoke, and then I will go get it. Okay. Hey, Aaron's not here. Nor is Christina from Gedro's homestead. If they were here, I would show theirs too. Matt says, "I breed mealworms. They're super, super easy." C says, "Must be at the ball field." Yep. And the weather here this morning is already 57. It's supposed to be in the 70s today. And he says, "I just went through the drive-through, handed the lady my money. She just looked at me. Then I realized I didn't tell her what I wanted." Vicky says, "I use my organic chicken feed to raise mealworms for the quail. Started in December and finally can see wiggling in the feed. I pulled beetles out of 8 weeks ago." You know, Vicky, that's a good idea. Andy says it's early morning still, LOL. And everybody's laughing at Andy. I hope that was coffee you got through the drive-through, Andy, to wake up with. She says, I am AF. I'm away from the keyboard, no display until I get back. Well, like I said, I got to finish this cigarette first because I'm not going to go in there with the cigarette. No, smoke. Ah, you had to go get smokes. Okay. Bet you she thought you were just paying her just for looking so pretty. I am so ornery this morning. Ed, are you still with us? Hey, cuz, aren't you breeding black soldier flies? Vicky wants to know if anyone here drinks bone broth every morning. No, Vicky. I did get some new what's it called? Electrolytes to add to water because I drink distilled water and it doesn't have electrolytes in it, so I bought some electrolytes to put in my water. CDB says hadn't thought about it. I don't process enough animals to get enough bones to make that much bone broth. No, but I like this nice set. Ed says, I'm just full of snot, LOL. So over this. Allergies, Ed? I know what you mean. Dawn says, Vicky, I drank it twice a day for 4 years or more. Never in the morning. I had to drink soul water when I got up. Andy says, I normally roll my own, but I'm out and didn't want to get dressed to get out of the car to go in the store. I know what you mean. And Steve is back at the keyboard. When you're sick with intestinal stuff, chicken broth is good for you. The heck with chicken broth? Use quail broth. She says, sadly, yes. Vicky says, just confirming. I'm a weirdo, I guess. Hubby thinks I'm getting too crunchy and homegrown. Well, it sounds like he has a hubby problem. Nikki says, I drink soul water every morning too. I don't know what soul water is. She says, that's not a bad thing, Vicky. And he says, bone broth saved my dog when she got poisoned. Evidently, when Lucy was out on her walk this morning, she got into something she should have because she ate breakfast and then barfed it right back up. And I had to clean that up before coming on. Kelly says, okay, I'm back. Jessica says, do you save the bones after eating the quail to make bone broth or with the meat on? You save the bones after eating quail. Then you can roast them a little bit and then make your broth. Isn't salt water just salt water? Is what Steve asked. Kelly says, Running is always nice. Feeling so much better it can run a good distance without dying, LOL. Andy says you can do both, Jessica. C says, I'm not running unless I'm being chased by something big. I'm with you there, Steve. Hold on 1 minute. I gotta go get red eyes. There you go. See how beautiful she's getting? Let's see. Andy says, but I take as much meat off first on all animal bones. Jessica says, would it make good broth if they are smoked? We like to, I don't know what that word is, them. And CDB agrees with Steve and me. Nikki says, it's a mineral water made from Red Man's real sea salt. Oh, I see. C says, Andy Rabbit, have you named it yet? Dawn says, Steve, so water is water that is fully saturated with salt. And everybody's agreeing, oh, she's pretty. Then Jackie says, Traeger is just a smoke grill brand. Okay. Yeah, I think if you smoke the bones with the bones, you might get some smoke flavoring in your bone broth. That's just, I'm not running even if something decides to chase me. Stand your ground. Pew, pew. C says, Traeger is a type of smoker. And Annie says, maybe V, Steve. I got to name it V. Gratitude Brant says, I do got to run. Have a great day, y'all. Have a blessed day, Verna. Matt, you have a blessed day as well. And everybody saying bye to Matt. And he says, I won't dig a hole even if I had a gun to my head. LOL. Oh, now she's really quiet. She's got her head laying in my hand. Now to see for sure what sex she is. Oh. Yeah, it's a little girl. It's a little girl. See, Lucy? You want to see the baby? You know, you can't eat her. No, don't lick your lips when you look at her. Okay, I'll call her V. Hey, V. The ones that I'm saving for QuailCon, the people that want them are staying in the certain cage. And he's got thumbs up. And he says, yep, V at B. The V. Her name is V. And she's calm once she is sitting in your lap and you're petting her. She calms right down. You know, they all hate being picked up, but they love the attention when they're getting petted. Well, V, you want to go back with your mama, even though I know you're weaned. But hopefully tomorrow your mama's going to be in her own cage, and you'll stay in this cage, in the cage you're in, along with the others that are going to go to QuailCon. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Yeah, she is very much female. She's big enough that I can double check. Chocolate rabbits, chocolate cooey. LOL. Yeah, she's a chocolate and white. Dawn says, I am halfway done with my rounds. Then coffee, and I'll be here. But I mean, once I put her in my lap, she just calmed right down. You see, she didn't give me a problem about checking her. So she's going to be a nice one for you, Andy. She's going to be a good breeder. Andy says, that's awesome. So I'm going to pick out the ones for baby Cooey is so cute. CDB, she's breeding size now. She's half grown. Lucy, go lay down. All right, come on up. Lucy wants to say hi, everybody. No, they're babies when they fit in the palm of your hand. She is too big for my whole hand. What did you do with my hand? You reach up and grab my hand. You didn't like me doing that, huh? She says, Lucy to Lucy. And he says, I have a chocolate and white male she'll go with. That's cool. CDB says, hey, good girl. And he says, hello, Lucy. Nikki says, I have 2 turkeys running my house this morning, 4 weeks old. One has an injury and had to come in. The other one is being a companion. Cool, Nikki. Jessica says, aw, Lucy. Everybody saying hi to you and say you're sweet. Sometimes she gets mommyitis. And most of us know what mommyitis is like. That's when your kids call your name so much, you say, I'm going to change my name. And he says, oh, she's so cute. Not bad for a 10-year-old. Oh, you going after my hair? You want to hug me? Linda says, my kids are almost grown. I still say that some days. Morning, Linda. Jessica says, I have a border collie golden retriever mix with chronic mommyitis. CDB says, I would be lost without my dog. It says, so the turkey had a service turkey, LOL. Hey guys, cooey jerky. It's too hard for me to eat because I don't have teeth. But this was made out of belly flaps. And since I can't eat it because it's too hard, I can only suck on it. Oh, Lucy loves it. And Ed says, so the turkey had a service turkey, LOL. Has. And he says, my kids are gone. I say I'm going to change my number. Nikki said, absolutely 100%, Ed. C says, I tried that, Andy. It doesn't work. Well, in my case, I just closed the bank and told them what I thought, and they don't want nothing to do with me anymore. So I don't have that problem. The only ones that call for me now is the cooey. Nikki says, Andy, I say the same. Eddie says, I just turn my ringer off most days. Ed says, I solved that problem and didn't have kids. No, you didn't solve the problem. You prevented the problem. Well, you guys, I'll be right back. I got to handle a call that you can't ignore. Oh, okay. Let me see. Annie agreed that that was a smart one or ad. C says the problem is the kids have kids. Yeah, you can't say no to your grandkids that easy, at least not when they're young. And he says, oh, I know, Steve. And Ed says, amen. And he says, I love my grandkids, but they are loud. C says, I went on a trip. Earlier this month, and James called me every day. He got confused and was upset and thought I went to QuailCon without him. Yeah, I hear a lot of kids are getting excited about QuailCon, and we thought we were bad. Nikki says, "My oldest boy, I don't hear from over much, but did just get him and his wife and grandbaby started in Quail." Now that's the smart way to do it, Nikki. And Andy's laughing at Steve. CDB says, "Very cooked, Nikki." Andy says, "That is so awesome, Nikki." I tried to get my oldest daughter into quail, and she wasn't interested. And they live on half acre, I think it is. I mean, they got all the room in the world, but they're too uppity for it. And I think CDB meant very cool, Nikki. C says, "I told him on Tuesday I'd be home in 4 days. Then on Thursday, I said I'd be home in 4 days. He then asked me, 'Don't the days change?' Uh, Caught me making up numbers." And CD says, "I was right on what I said, very cool." That she meant very cool, Nikki. Yeah, so I could see why, cause that James thought that you were making, that, you went to QuilCon because you were making up those days numbers. And he says, "Well, cook might be right too, LOL. Cook the eggs, cook the quail." Nikki says, "It has taken me a bit, but my son has been buying powdered concerning quail eggs for a couple years now for his allergies." CDB says, "My grandson says QuailCon will be better than Disneyland. I hope they go." So do I, CDB. I really hope they go. I'm looking forward to meeting them in person. She says, "Gotta order our t-shirts from Kelly soon as the two kids give me the colors." CDB says, "They would love meeting you too." She says, "The type of protein from quail eggs is how they make the shots for allergies." Well, that's funny, cuz. Well, it isn't the protein that I have a problem with when it comes to allergy shots. It's the vaccinations. CDB says, "I had no idea." Yeah, and the one thing about quail eggs that has an advantage too is that higher in the B complex vitamins that chickens don't have or don't have as much of. Cause what you have to tell your grandson is that, remember, QuailCon is just before he goes back to school after summer vacation. And he says, "I'm having a shirt made for QuailCon. I'm trying to decide what color I want. It's going to have my YouTube picture and YouTube name on it." That's great. Where are you getting it from? Are you making it yourself? Dawn says, "All done now and have coffee started. The next eggs is for hatching too. I can't do any more hatching until I have the cages together and the water systems back up and my other quails are old enough to lay eggs." So that's gonna be, let's see, in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Dawn says, "All done." Okay, I already said that. And Andy said, "Yay, Dawn." Nikki says, "I kept asking him why he buys that when they could hatch some quail, have the eggs, and also have meat source. Guess it finally sank in." Yeah, Andy, when they figured out, well, 50-pound bag of feed is about what you pay for powdered eggs. So he could have a lot more eggs for that. Andy says, "My good friend makes them." What, powdered eggs, Andy? I make powdered eggs too. C says, 119 days till QuailCon. John says, "I sold the May 1st chicks that were my mistake hatch." And he says, "The friend I was out with a few weeks ago." Oh, your friend makes his t-shirts. Okay, and she put the t-shirt just as it dawned on me. I was sitting here trying to figure out what. And then I remembered you were talking about the t-shirts. I need a shirt that says, "Follow me to QuailCon." Maybe I'll have to design it the old way, because I think I might have some of the old printer t-shirt iron-ons. C says, "How come I don't have Andy's YouTube channel in my subscription list?" Well, Steve, all you have to do is see the 3 dots by her name. You click that and click go to channel, and that's how you can snag her and put her in, your subscription list. See, and Andy says, "I don't know." She says, "I only get report and blocks on my 3 dots." That's unusual. Maybe you're under the wrong names, because Andy, that means you're supposed to post your link. Yes, Andy, post your link. Nikki says, "Me too." She says, "I make a few videos every now and then, Steve." Andy, post your link, or I will do it. Hmm, I don't see it. Uh, that's more videos than I have, ha ha ha. Nikki says, "Link us in, Andy." John says, "I thought I was subbed to Andy's channel a while back." And he says, "I'm trying to figure out how to find it, and hold on." There you go. I knew I was subscribed to it, but I couldn't find it. Yeah, you found it. Don says, "Oh, I see it. Yes, I am subbed to it." Now everybody else is grabbing it, Andy. So you're gonna have to post some videos. I did get my green stalk up, and the only problem I'm having is that it dries out within a few hours. So I may end up having to start everything in the house and then transplant it when it gets up to eating size for microgreen. See now, Andy, that's how you get your subscriptions up. And everybody, don't forget to like, oh, and subscribe, and click the notification bell for all. And we got 16, and we're only 4 short of having 20, you guys. So time now to share and tag your friends. And he says, "I have one too. It takes so much watering too. Thought it was just me." No, it drains a little bit too good in my opinion. But once there's roots and their roots will hold on to some of the water too. I think I'm gonna take the water. If I don't have any growth in a couple days, I'm gonna take the watering disc out of it. Dawn says, "Verna, it is like a plant pot that holds with holes in it. I used to cover the holes with pieces of gravel and just leave 1 or 2 open. I think I'm taking the watering discs out of the different layers and removing them. And another thing you can do, Dawn, instead of putting pebbles in it or gravel, is that water sealer for sealing glass around metal so you can make your aquariums. I got a tube of that. I could always block up half the holes. And mine's in the shade. And CDB said, good idea. And Dawn says, silicone, yes, exactly. And he says, I bought some turmeric from a new organic store in town. They haven't sprouted. Let those babies sit in a half full of water. And then when they sprout is when you transplant them. CDB says, they love how you think outside the box. That's the only way to do it because if you think inside the box, then you're government controlled. Hold on a minute. On that note, I need to go get a cup of coffee. Let me see. And he says, I'm thinking they aren't really organic, maybe. Andy, they could still be organic, but they probably put a root inhibitor. So you kind of wash it in water like you're gonna like you would a potato before you bake it, and then put it in a thing of water and let it sit half in water until it starts to sprout. Same way you do ginger. And Andy passed out the coffee. Nikki says, so I know lemongrass is good at keeping snakes and mosquitoes away, but will it also help with rodents? I'm not sure, Andy. I know peppermint helps keep mice away. I don't think it'll help keep guinea pigs and rabbits away, but it helps keep mice away. And Steve says turmeric takes 2 to 4 weeks to sprout. Andy says, I'm not sure, but I hear it keeps flies away. Yeah, it's good at keeping flying insects away. It's also tasty. You can use it in your cooking or you can use it for tea. Andy says it's been 2 weeks so far. Andy, did you change the water every day for at least a week? And as long as it's not rotten, you still have hope. You should adjust every day. Did you rotate the turmeric? Flip them, yes. Okay. Now just keep them in the water in a warm area and just make sure that you fill it all almost to where it's covered. Not where it's all covered, but almost. And you still have them in water. As long as they don't get mushy, leave them like it. It may take them a little longer, that's all. Which reminds me, when I get up, I gotta put some ginger in water. She wants to know if it's organic seeds. No, what it is, it's an organic tubular that she bought at the store. And he says it's not mushy yet, so it may still sprout, Andy. It's when it starts to rot that you know it's no good. Aaron says, "Hey, friends, I'm late, but I made it." Aaron, we were wondering about you. Now I'm gonna go and grab one of the babies that I'm thinking of giving to Aaron and sex it all at the same time. And he says it's an all organic store. CDB says hand pink waving. And everybody's saying hello to Aaron. While everybody's doing that, I'm gonna go get one of the ones that I picked out for Aaron. Hey, Mama, I'm gonna get one of your babies. Can I get one of your babies? Oh. This is one of the ones that I picked for Aaron. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Time and Timber Home says hello and waves. Hi, Jasmine. CDB says, whoops, hit those by mistake. C says, I'm going to do sprouts today, maybe. Yeah, he's going to procrastinate again. Aaron says, I was operating a skid steer and breaking concrete for my neighbor. Well, that was neighborly of you, Aaron. Nikki says, hi, Jasmine. C says, hey there, Aaron. Aaron says, hey, Nikki, Andy, and Steve. Jasmine says, hey, Nikki. Andy says, ha, Steve, hopefully you may. Aaron says, hey, Jasmine. Andy says, hi, Jasmine. CDB says, cutest thing ever. Aaron says, look at that baby. And everybody's saying it's pretty. And there's Christina. Good morning, Christina. She says, good morning, friends. She says, hello, Jasmine. Dawn says, oh, what a cutie. Steve says, good morning, Queen. Jasmine says, hey, Andy, Steve, and Aaron. Okay. Now, as soon as I get this one calmed down, because she's just now starting to get calmed down, I'm going to see if it's male or female because I haven't checked yet. Yeah, I love her coloring. That's why I picked this one for Jidro's homestead. And he says, can lemongrass grow on wetland? No. Jasmine's right. Okay, let me see what you are. Yes. I just want to see what kind of baby you are. Well, this one's a little harder. Hold still. No, Lucy. Another girl. Aaron, this is going to be your girl. Aaron and Christina. Christina's, Annie says, I need a food type that can grow in wet ground. My backyard don't dry out. Christina said, hey, Steve, Jazz, and Nikki. Annie says, woohoo. Aaron says, she is so pretty. Andy said, it's a girl. Yeah, she's a girl. Christina says, I'm just finding out we're getting cooey. Yep, now I got a good female for both you. And we'll see what kind of male we get that you guys like. Because these two are easy to pick out that don't go into the regular cages. Because they're not breeders and they're not feed. They go in my holding cage, which is a ferret cage. Jasmine says, I sexed my American rabbit kits. The litter of 11, only 3 does. Lots of freezer buns. See, says, Andy, spinach, cabbage, celery, and asparagus. Andy says, I think lemon balm can grow on wet ground, but it takes over. And CDB says, I have to go for now. My spoiled parrots seem to think they need breakfast. Great show, Verna. Bye, all. Have a blessed day, CDB. Christina says, morning, Dawn. She says, also winter mint and I can never say it, Agarula. And it says, yes, Jasmine, that's the way to think of the boys. Jasmine says, I bet peppermint can grow in wet ground. Peppermint can grow in anything. Well, she's all quiet. Arugula. Thanks, cuz. I look at the spelling and it doesn't make sense. And I got some seeds for that too. Now she's just calm. Now the other one, V rested her hand and her head in my hand. This one snuggled up to my arm. Closer to my heart. Jasmine says, LOL, Christina. Surprise, bet you didn't know I am saving back a Nigerian dwarf darling for your homestead for September 3rd. Don says, I have arugula, microgreens growing. They are spicy and I love them. Aaron says, I love it, Jasmine. C said, doesn't she need two? Christina says, Jazz, I'd think hard about goats. I want to make soap. And goat's milk tastes so good. Nikki says, I was just trying to think what I could plant around my coops to both keep snakes and rodents away. Well, guys, I'm going to put this little lady back in with her mama. I don't know how many cooey you guys are going to get. I'll just warn you that much. And Lucy had to make sure that I put the cooey away. Let's see. The other says, ha ha ha, you're right, Steve. Make it two babies, Christina. Annie says, a cat, Nikki. Christina's laughing. Jasmine says, she's cute, V. That's Aaron's baby. And it's a female. And Andy named her chocolate one that I'm giving her, V. Like you call me, Jasmine. Nikki says, goat cheese, yummy. Dawn says, Nikki James, how about planting a mothball plant? LOL. Jasmine's laughing at Dawn. C says, Nikki James, marigolds, lemongrass, and garlic. Dawn says, I have a groundhog visiting and I scared it off, so it ran underneath my shed. Hubby took a handful of mothballs out there the other day. Jasmine says, Nikki, if you kept the mice away, the snakes won't be frequent visitors. Once they find out there's eggs, they may. No, Lucy, I don't want you on my lap right now. No, I know you're jealous. You're jealous because I got to hold a cooey and pet a cooey all while you stood there, huh? Lucy's a little jealous when I pet other animals. Nikki says, have a cat. Have a cat. Can't keep up. I do have marigold starts growing now. Jasmine says, that name for Andy's cooey is super fun. Andy says, I don't name many animals, but dogs and cats. So most farm animals get named after who I get them from or the town I get them from. Well, if it was a boy, you could call it Franklin. But since it's a girl, calling it V or Verna is cool. And the only animals I name is my favorite breeders that I don't plan to get rid of or process. And I don't name the quail because they're not going to be around that long. Even my breeders, even if they are here 2 years, I'm not going to name 5 quail and try to tell which one is which. That's silly. 5 females. And he says, wait a minute. She says, I don't name Quail as I can't tell one from the other. Exactly, cuz. Animal Gamer Creator says, hello. Anime Gamer Creator, good morning and welcome. And he says, naming a quail would be hard. I may name the hatch, though. Anime says, I keep missing these. Well, I'm glad to have you, Anime. We got about 45 minutes until I close down, so you got plenty of time. Jasmine says, love that. I named my soon to come home goat baby girl Ruffles. She is black with white ruffles on her tummy. I can't wait to bring her home. Steve says, can we get 2 more thumbs up? Woohoo! 20 thumbs up! Woo! Anime says, also, I did a little research about guinea pig breeding. So what'd you find out, Anime? Oh, you are so spoiled, Lucy. And you know I wanted to have a smoke. So you had to get on my lap to stop me, huh? See, if you have a field that grows a lot of grass or weeds or whatever you want to call it, you wouldn't have to feed your guinea pigs anything but the grass. So you go out and harvest a bunch of grass and throw it in their cage. That's why some countries are breeding cuy. Well, Steve, we got the 2 you wanted because we're up to 22 now. Jasmine says, my niece named one of my quail hens Oreo. Fortunately for me, Oreo is unique and easy to tell apart from the other quail in the aviary. I can't eat her either. No, because your niece would get very upset. Okay, now time to get off. I know you love me, but time for you to get off. Thank you. Don says, I had to start naming my own hatches for labels that hubby can understand. I'm going to take the cages. He just says, here, adult eggs. Here's baby eggs. Well, what will he do when I have more babies? Jevin says, yes, she would be. Andy says, I'm going to try to move my cuy into a larger cage this week, but I'm going to move the cage. I have to do some spring cleaning to move through it. To move it, though. Jevin says she texts me to ask how Oreo is. Yep, if you accidentally ate Oreo, you would lose a niece. Dawn says, I am not good with making up names. It's like creating a new password for me. I agree, Dawn. Andy says, what does Oreo look like? Yes, Jasmine, tell us what Oreo looks like. Is she deep, moody green? Andy says, Dawn, I'm not good at naming either. That's why I had Big Mama and Little Mama. Now I got Big Mama, and I don't remember what the other one's name is yet. I haven't decided if I'm gonna keep her yet or not. She says, "Ha ha ha, Moody Green." I don't think Jasmine's gonna live that down. It was so cute. Well, we're waiting for Jasmine to tell us what Oreo looks like. Anime says, turns out if you don't breed them before their pelvic bones fuse, it won't be big enough for the future breeding. It can cause issues giving birth. So that first birth stretches the bone big enough. That's why you breed them as soon as they're able to breed, anime, which is usually they can become pregnant at 4 weeks old. Dawn says, Andy, making up names is hard as collecting eggs to incubate for me, lol. I got a real poop covered one this morning and I thought, oh, I can toss this in the incubator until I saw my hand. Oh no. And he says, my household was called the Noah's Ark, too, of the same names after I got with my now hubby, lol. We both have a daughter with the same name. My hubby and son had almost the same name, and my youngest is named after me. That's how my family was, Andy, and I broke that tradition. Jasmine says, I need to put Oreo with a roof so I can duplicate her. She's a homogenized, sparkly, and homogenized whatever. She looks like a barred rock chicken. Oh, that is cool. She says, sin or son? What are you saying? And he says, oh, Dawn, I'm sorry, but I'm laughing. And he says, Dawn says, Andy, my hubby and I both have a daughter with the same name. Both real troublemaking girls. Anime says, oh, also our guinea pig has been getting black hairs and it's strange. Nanny said, son. Our guinea pig have been getting black hairs and it's strange. What do you mean by black hairs is strange? Is black hairs growing in different areas or why is it strange? Dawn says, Andy, I'll get more eggs tonight and toss them into the incubator. They usually lay them in the nest box, but this one was out on the wire. That's why you have rollout cages, so you don't have to worry about that. Jasmine says, I love these morning chats. So do I, Jasmine. That's why I keep doing them. Now, I'm going to ask a question. Who here is not going to QuailCon? Anime, are you coming to QuailCon? She says, I get so many jumbo eggs, I have placement issues in the incubator. Only had 4 standard eggs to pick from. Don says, nope, no rollouts, just because the rollouts would have had to be covered since it's outside. Anime says, I hope so. If you're planning on camping, Anime, You better grab your camping tickets now. Let me see if there how many's left. Yeah, there's 4 camping tickets left. Oh, you did buy a camping ticket. Wonderful. Now, for those who weren't here earlier, I've already started on book 4, and it is called Grilled, Smoked, and Jerky. So if you have any recipe using any animals on those 3 topics, you can post it in um, Self-Sufficient Kitchen on Facebook. Hit the wrong button. Let me see. There we go. Oh, so, you telling me you're working on getting your, QuilCon tickets? Don't forget to get the dinner tickets too. And he says, "I had a problem putting the eggs from Jasmine in the egg turner. I had to space them." Anime says, "I had joined the kitchen recently." Great, Anime. Under this name, or did you use a different name? So there's no one to buy quail meat over here, but there is a place to buy eating eggs. Anime says, "My real name." Well, Anime, next time you go on Facebook, you're gonna have to, message me. Andy says, "I wanna get the dinner ticket this week." Yeah, the dinner tickets are $15 per person, no matter what age the person is. The, QuilCon ticket itself is $55 per adult. People under 18 years old come in free with a paying adult. Yes, kids are free. Anybody under 18 is for free as long as there is an adult with them. In other words, you can buy 1 adult ticket and have 5 kids. Those 5 kids get in free. But if you want them to have the quail dinner, that's $15 per person, no matter what the age is. Yeah, you had to buy their dinner tickets. And he says, "I bet that would confuse Zach, just a camping ticket, LOL." Yep. And he says, "They are nice eggs, Jasmine." You know what you could always do? When you put your quail racks in, you can alternate a few regular chicken egg racks, and that way your extra large eggs can go on the chicken egg racks, and your smaller eggs go on the quail racks. Anime, you could have a quote type of block party and serve up quail and not tell anybody what it is. Or you can do the same thing with cuy. Anime says, "Yeah, we're buying tickets at a later date. Me and my mom are splitting the price for the tickets." Yep. Jasmine says, "I am glad you think so. I got feedback from another local egg buyer, and he had a 91% rate from my eggs. I was so pleased." Andy says, "My granddaughter heard me talking about going to QuailCon and asked who I am going to be with that weekend then. I know I can bring her, but I'm not." Anime says, "Me, my mom, my 2 brothers, and little sister, maybe my boyfriend too." Just remember, for the dinner tickets, that's $15 per person. So that's 1, 2, 4, 5 or 6 tickets at $15 each. She says, "I gotta check what I ordered. I'm not sure I bought dinner for James." Hey, cuz you better double check that. Andy says, "That's awesome, Jasmine. Hopefully I will too." Use your Goldie. Let's see. Wrong thing. Okie dokie. Now I am going to put my links in. This is my affiliated link for Quail University. Jasmine says, "I had to laugh because I told the guy that I had an online course on quail raising before he picked up the eggs, but I didn't tell him my name. He was so excited to be getting birds from Zach." Anime says, "All the kids are under 18, so this will be hectic." Well, that's fine, but they still have to buy the dinner. Anime says, "Hi, Jasmine." Jasmine says, "I had to break the news to him that I was the other person in the course, the girl." And he's laughing. Jasmine, that's funny. Anime says, "I need to do that too." Yes, I know. Anime, use that link, and I get a little bit of kickback for that. RG Homes, Arizona Homesteads here. Good morning, Vay, and hello to all the chat today. I hope all are well this fine morning. Glad to have you, RG. Okay, now the next link is QuailCon link. Aaron says, "Jasmine, I get to see your awesome husband every day this month on the Quail calendar." Jasmine says, "Morning, RG." Anime says, "I completed Quail U Monday." Cool. Oh. C says, "Yep, May is Luke month." Don says, "Oh, I was checking eggs for cracks, and one egg there is no way to see through at all. Has everyone hatched one like that?" Yeah, that's why you need an incubrite. An incubrite to go show somewhat through that. Or if it's all the way, may already started. Jasmine says, "Oh gosh, Aaron." And this is the cookbook, the 3rd cookbook from Quail in the Kitchen, and it's about everything pickled. Dawn says she used her Incubrite. Dawn, did you put new batteries in it instead of the batteries that it came with? That makes it brighter. Jasmine says, hilarious. May's our wedding anniversary month, 16 years. What date, Jasmine? She says, just being aware of where I put it. Ed says, I'm still here listening with heating pad on face, sinus headaches, so listen. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ed. Anime says, there's a thing I want to do, and it's making blue ribbons for people, so I need to make a list. Cool, Anime. Dawn says, Steve, I marked it with a marker. Aaron says, I do the same, Steve. Most of the time, it means that it's a good egg. Dawn says, Verna, yes, LOL. I've used it for a year. It has lots of batteries. Jasmine says, the 20th, because my birthday's on the 11th, Jasmine. She says, I had to get a new Incubrite. I don't know where I hid my other one. Are you sure James didn't borrow it? Because Anime says, wow, 16 years. Aaron says, oh, that's awesome, Jasmine. It's my birth month. What day is your birthday, Aaron? John says, I wish there was a way to keep the Incubrite from rolling around when I got the green laser light. It has an octagon shape so it doesn't roll. Anime says, my mom has a 12-hour shift soon, so I'm going to need to babysit. Nikki says, the 20th is my daughter's birthday. Aaron is May 8th, which means his birthday's Monday. Woohoo! Happy birthday, Aaron. C says, no, if Jasmine had it, it'd be by the eggs. Oh, Jasmine says, yep, he stuck with me forever, LOL. We still like each other. RG says, happy birthday, regardless of the day. Enjoy the day older. Jasmine says, happy early birthday, Aaron. Nikki's saying the same thing, Aaron. Andy says, May 8th is my dad's birthday. The 9th is my daughter's birthday. Jasmine says, fun, Nikki, and happy early birthday to you too, V. Yeah, I hit the big 6'5" this year. Andy says, have a happy birthday, Aaron. Aaron says, today is my birthday party. Boiled shrimp tonight. Steve, you are invited. Time and Timber says, wow, so much to celebrate in May for everybody. Aaron says, thanks, guys. Us Tauruses are special. So, Jasmine, now you know why you guys still like each other. Oh, you were married on the cuspus between Taurus and Gemini. Well, Taurus is steadfast, loyal, and love. And Gemini has two faces, which is one is serious and the other one's like a prankster. So that keeps spark going. RG says, at my age, birthdays are a thing of the past for me. I am just old and accept it. RG, I say celebrate your age. In my case, I wasn't supposed to live to see my first birthday. For 65 years, I've been proving the doctors wrong. Celebrate not just your birthday, but every day of your life. Jasmine says, I know nothing about the stars as such. Nikki says, happy early birthday, Verna. I just can't call you V because that's my daughter's name. Davina. We call her V Arena. You can always call me Vay, Nikki, because Vay is my initials. RG says, well done. I will be 6 one more time. Nikki says, that I can do. Yeah, back when AOL was a hot thing to be at, and I used to be a hostess and a guide, everybody called me they back then because back then you had to use your actual name to sign on AOL. So I used my initials VE, then my last name Young, and number 1. And Andy says, happy early birthday, Verna. So he says, we get to pick an age. Anime says, happy early birthday. Oh, Lucy's being a good girl. She's back in her cave right behind me. I felt eyes on me, so I turned around and looked, and that's where she was. And I said her name, so now she's getting out of her cave and come up beside me. You know what this box is here, everybody? This box is full of the 1 by 1/2 inch wire that I'm going to be putting on the cages for the cuy. Jasmine says, I am really proud of my homestead animals. The quail and rabbits have paid for several goats and all the blood work and registration stuff for them. Feels good to not have to ask Luke to fund my stuff. Congratulations, Jasmine. See, your quail and rabbits are helping your homestead grow. Anime says, trying to tell my brother about quail. See, says, Aaron keeps inviting me as he knows I'll procrastinate. Jasmine's laughing. And Nikki says, that's awesome, Jasmine. Go lay down, baby. Jasmine says, thanks, Nikki. The baby goat sales will pay for the hay for the year, too. That is wonderful. Nikki says, that's a good feeling, Jasmine. And Jasmine agrees. Oh boy, you guys, it's already 68 degrees here today, just before noon. Jasmine says, "What's been running in your harvest right, V?" Well, I haven't ran anything uh for a couple weeks yet because I'm trying to get my other projects done. But I got some celery that's going to be going in probably today. Some celery and some other stuff to feed the to fill up the harvest right. I'm waiting till closer to QuailCon before I do all the candy I bought. Andy says the baby cooey and guinea pigs I sold last Saturday will feed the cooey for about 4 months. Anime says, my brother is finally interested in the 18 and under contest after not caring. Excuse me. Well, you know where he has to send that to. Zach at myshirefarm.com. Jazzy says, awesome, Anime. Anime says, my mom says hi. Hi, Anime's mom. And he says, that's cool, Anime. And everybody saying hi to your mom. Waving to her. They were just a bunch of crazy quail people. Quail and cooey and rabbit people. And goats. Oh, I wish I had a backyard so I could have a couple of Nigerian dwarfs. Jazzy says, LOL, we're a friendly bunch, aren't we? We're all family. When she comes to QuailCon, she'll find out how much of a family we are. Jasmine, I don't think you were here when I was showing off my knives I got to help me harvest the cooey. She says, I got outbid on the 2 acres, so I have to start over. Nikki says, my project list is never ending also. Anime says, I want to have a Nigerian dwarf one day from Weedham and Reap. Look at my knife, Jasmine. Got that to help me harvest the cooey. Ouch. Well, I got to push this down. Close it up. And it came with a little one that'll probably work the best on the hide. Time and Timber Home says, I love it, V. Very nice. Anime says, Weedham and Reap has a goat class for anyone interested. Yeah, their goat class is a heck of a lot more expensive than our quail classes are. They're a few $100, whereas our quail class is only $49. C says, don't cut yourself. I don't want to see no red stuff. Well, I poked myself, but it didn't cut me. Jasmine says, beautiful too. Yeah, they're that expensive metal. What kind of looks like marbleized. Uh, Demarcus folding knife. Best quality handmade knife, sharp edge blade, supreme quality. And you can't see the name because they put the sticker on it. And I got it off of Amazon. Anyway, it says Rediment Weep has a go class for anyone interested. Okay, I read that. Beautiful too. Anyway, it says it's 100 and something, but one day I'ma take it. Time and Timber says away from keyboard, ducklings are demanding attention. Damascus, yeah, Damascus. Anyway, it says you have ducks. Yeah, she has ducks. She says mean face ducklings, haha. Dancer says they are little gangsters. Anime says you need to start streaming. She does have a stream. Let me give you the link for that. Let's see. This is for Jasmine. Anime says my mom used to have ducks when she was little. She says she needs better internet first. Well, you guys, it's getting close to end of the live stream. 8 minutes and counting. Okay, if you want to check all the cookbooks out, you check right here. Dawn says she sees 24 likes. Well, I see 23, Dawn, but I already did my dance when we got 22. And here's Quail University once again. And it's also in my description. Buster, are you still here? You're awfully quiet today. Nikki says internet seems to be an issue all over Missouri. I think it's an issue all over United States. A lot of countries have free internet net for everybody. Now, Anime either said rip or rest in peace. Buster says, been driving. Oh, okay, Buster. Be careful, dear. Jasmine says, Missouri is a crapshoot for high-speed internet coverage. And there's so many countries that have free internet for its citizens, but not in the U.S. Desmond says 3 miles away from me has access to good internet, but they can't bring it to my place. That's always their excuse unless you want to pay a few $1,000s for them to do it. Buster says, had to go to 3 feed stores and none of them had game bird starter. Did you look for, like, pheasant starter or anything like that? C says, "I see an extension cord in your future, haha." I can remember one of the channels that I used to watch way in the beginning is I don't watch them anymore, but what they did is they would video on their phones, and then they would have to drive to a town in order to upload. Jasmine, exactly. I don't have a few grand to pay for fiber optics to be dug in and at my address. And he says turkey starter. Yeah, turkey starter's good too. You can get pheasant starter, turkey starter, or get the highest protein that you can get, and you can add mealworms and that to it. Nikki says, yeah, just across town they have good internet, but we get crapola. Living Traditions used to upload at Walmart's in the beginning. Yep. Buster says the highest protein I can get was meat bird. Well, that should work. I know what you meant, Buster, meat bird, because I read it that way. Meat bird starters, which you should if you were able to get. Anime says all depends on cell towers. Nikki says seriously, only 250 people in this town, and they can't run it here. Andy says, what do you feed your adult quail, Jasmine? Anime says also depends on if you're next to a school, then you get no Wi-Fi. Jasmine says 18% protein chicken layer. Okay, this has been really great, but it's time for me to head out, everybody. So have a blessed weekend, and I'll see you Sunday at my Shire Farm.